committee, and we thought it might just be the committee and, and our 4 speakers. So we're really glad that we have such a great turnout tonight. Thank you for being here. It's a beautiful night, and I appreciate you taking your time to come inside rather than being outside. And we want to be respectful of your time, so we're going to try to keep this moving. We want to make sure that everybody gets their questions answered, and we'll keep things going on schedule. So my name is Stacy Sloan. I'm a volunteer for the Northfield Green Growth Group, and we're just a volunteer organization. We're a citizen-led group that came together to try to promote the growth of cannabis businesses in Northfield Township, and also any other type of positive economic growth that could happen in our area. So that was a group that came together, and we decided to hold a couple events. And this was the first event that we wanted to hold because it was really important to us that we had sort of an open house style event for many different types of people. So we recognize that there are people in our community who are pro-cannabis in any type of form or fashion. Maybe they use cannabis, maybe they don't, but they're definitely in favor of the recreational use or the medicinal use of marijuana, also known as cannabis. We also recognize that there are people in our community who are not in favor of that, and that they feel for whatever reason that that's not something that should be consumed. We respect those opinions and values. We're certainly not here to argue with anybody or to try to prove our point in any type of way that would be disrespectful. So we want to thank those of you who might be here. I don't know if there are any people who are here who hold that viewpoint, but if there are people who hold that view, we appreciate you taking the time to be here and having an open mind and hearing what our guests have to say. We recognize that there are people who are on the fence and they're really just not sure about whether or not this would be good for the community. And we recognize that there are people who maybe don't know anything about cannabis at all, but they're very invested in the growth and the development of our town. So when Prop 1 became legal, we passed recreational marijuana in the state of Michigan last year. That didn't necessarily mean that marijuana shops, agricultural grows, other types of businesses could just automatically open in our community, and there's a process that we would need to follow in order to make that happen. So that's really what this is about tonight. We just want to provide an opportunity for you to hear from some really powerhouse guests that have been gracious enough to come in and to talk about this with us. So a couple announcements. There is a table in the back for absentee ballots. If you would like to fill out an absentee ballot application, you can see the folks in the back for that. There's also at the table a donation box, and this is really just if you feel led or inspired to add anything to the donation box. That's going to things like mailers, marketing efforts, educational efforts that the group has taken on. A lot of us have been paying for that out of our own pocket, which we're happy to do because we're advocates and we're excited about sharing the information that we have to share. But if you'd like to make a donation, we'll also have yard signs available. They're not available tonight, but they will be made available later, and I'll be able to give you some information after the event about that. So we are here because we want to just have this question and answer time. And how that's going to work is we're going to have 4 speakers. And our speakers are very well-established members of the cannabis community who have a lot of experience and information to share. And after each of them speak, we're going to have a time for question and answer. So we definitely want you to feel free to ask your questions. There are no questions that you should feel that are not welcome to be heard. But what we do ask is that everybody ask their question in a way that's respectful. We're here to have a conversation about cannabis. We're not here to argue about cannabis. So that's really our only request in that regard. So without any kind of further ado, I don't want to take time away from our guests. I just want to thank you again for being here. We really appreciate it. And I'm going to welcome our first guest. And he is from Liberty Cannabis. And his name is Nate Padre. Thanks, Nate, for being here.